Oh, she would like. What you up to, Stropper? Oh. What's this face? What's this face? What's this face? Oh. Oh, really? Hello? Your Roro's here. Do you want to take Roro? Ah, is that Roro?
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello?
Two.
Do you want to come up too?
Guys.
I'll put your knee up.
Two. Are you?
So, I decided to try and start a series about how I managed to fit everything in. And, yeah, today we're going to start with bullet journals. And how they did not work for me. So it's now a lot later in the day. It's now after like 9 o'clock at night. This is another reason why bullet journals just don't really work for me. The premise of a bullet journal is that you can take any notebook, whether it's, you know, a grid form, plain, paper, lined, whatever, and you can adapt it to suit your need. It's an amazing concept, and I loved it. There's an entire community on YouTube dedicated to bullet journaling, and it is addictive and it's inspiring and it's so much fun to watch people bullet journal. But in terms, like, bullet journaling is great, but I don't think it really applies very well in a professional sort of arena. I know that sounds very big-headed of me a little bit, but I like to approach my blog and my YouTube and everything on a professional level. It is something that I want to turn into a business at some point, particularly my basic makeup side of things, which is also it's sort of like a like a siphon for makeup artistry work. People locally find the website, see my work, find out I'm a makeup artist and hire me. That's the plan. But you will find a lot of makeup artists will also be like beauty bloggers or make beauty videos on YouTube on the side as well. It's like a back burner thing. So I like to be very heavy with my content planning and plan things in as much detail as possible. And when it comes to like bullet journaling, I mean, you guys know me, I'm like out the door with notebooks. So I've tried several different styles of notebook for bullet journaling. My favorite is an A4 wire bound to do it. And I used to start with, I never did a key page or a contents page. I did to start with, until I started falling into pitfalls in the contents page. Just kind of became irrelevant to me. So I would start with the contents page, and then I would have, I would write out the days of the month and the content that I wanted to go up each day. And then I would start breaking down the pages into days of the week, what I wanted to do, color coding them by filming, editing, and blog work. I won't do any writing work I wanted to do. And then I'd have a little space for, if I have time, do this. Usually it was some kind of social media work. And if something were to happen that I didn't get the task done that day, then I would have to add it on to another day or find some other time or space to do it. And that kind of, it was like a visualization of defeat for me, and it was very off-putting. And not only that, if you'd planned a week's worth of doing things in your little book, and you still were trying to catch up on Monday's stuff on Sunday, then you're having to move it on to the next week and on to the next week, and it kind of, it's very easy to start getting ahead of yourself when you're planning things in a bullet journal like that. And it's very easy to get ahead of yourself and then think, oh, I'll have time to do all this, that, and the other thing, and you've planned to do more than is feasibly possible. This is why I like another form of prep work called time blocking, and I will do that in another video. So you'd end up having gone through all this planning and writing all this stuff down to then have to rewrite it all multiple times, and it's tallies of your failures. It's not as negative as all that, but it gets to you. It really gets to you, like at the end of the month, and you haven't done half of what you thought you were going to be able to do, and then you feel like you're behind when you're not really behind, and it's demoralizing, very demoralizing. And that is where I found the contents page a bit useless, because if I hadn't, I don't know, there were some weeks I wasn't very diligent with it, and then I would have to I would just start from where I am, and you know, I'd be missing like a week or two, which kind of messes with what was going on in the contest page. The contest page was just useless to me. It just was. But the actual act of bullet journaling itself is very time consuming. Very time consuming. And when you're someone like me who has a lot to do, very little time to do it in, I'm sandwiching things in here, there, and everywhere. Like, if I have a few minutes and I can film a quick video, I will do it. If I have a few minutes and I can take a few pictures, I will do it. So bullet journaling and itemizing all the little tasks you need to get done like that and portioning out in that manner, it was too rigid for me. And it didn't flow the way my life needed to flow. But the act of filling out the bullet journal, portioning out all the pages, writing everything out, color coding everything. God help me if I lose a color or pen, especially with the children. I can't have more than one pen out at a time. It's no. I can't have more than one notebook out at a time, because otherwise I have to share. Mama don't like sharing. But yeah, I don't want to waste precious time when I could be doing something, I could be creating something, instead of dividing up pages into days and then writing down things that I'm then not going to do, because I could have been doing something productive in that time. In the time it would take me to fill out a week's worth of contents, planning for the bullet journal, like lining it all out, I could have edited a video, you know. I could have written a blog post. I could have taken pictures. I could have done so many things, but instead I've done this thing that in and of itself isn't creation, you know. Because you already have to, like there's back work before it goes into the bullet journal. You have your sheet of ideas, you have to break it down, and then you have your plans of what you want to do. It didn't fit into my method of planning for things. Again, I will go into my method of planning for things in another video. I go in a very sort of scholastic, is that the right word? Like the way I was taught in school, how to plan and prep for things. I find that the easiest way for me to do, so I stick to it, and I'll go over that in another video. I really should have written notes. This is something that bullet journaling doesn't account for. Like, if you want to have like a little set of plan of what you want to do, if you want to have notes for stuff, it doesn't allow for you to just do that. You need to have little loose sweeps of paper that you need to have, like, paper clip into where you need them to go. God, my hands are like, what is this? What is this? But like I said, it's very rigid. It's a very rigid structure of planning out what you need to do. If you are someone who is on has the freedom, I know this is such an oxymoron, but if you're someone who has the freedom to have routine, then a bullet journal will probably be awesome for you. Awesome. But for me, who is flying by the skin of my teeth, I don't know what I'm doing 1 hour to the next sometimes, it's just not practical for me. What I do now is kind of like bullet journaling, but different. And I'll just show you. So all my content creation now revolves around 3 pads of paper. I do all of the sort of information transference when the children are asleep, so that I can have it all spread out on my bed and have pens, and you know, it's fine. But what I tend to do is I will start with a just normal standard pad of A4 refill paper, and I will pick the topics. I will just write down the topic titles of what I want to do, and then I will think of blog post ideas or video ideas to do with those topics, and I will write them down. And that in itself creates a month worth of topics, a month's worth of content. So if you think you're posting like maybe one thing every other day, or like 5 things a week, you've got 5 topics, and you want to think of four ideas for each topic. That's 4 weeks worth of content right there. And then all you have to do, well, all I have to do then is take my A4 wire bound notebook, which is the sort of notebook that I love for bullet journaling, and then I do the whole writing down the days of the month. Because I have 2 sort of platforms, I make sure they're facing each other. So I have one for That Gallery Girl, one for basic makeup, and I fold each page in half. One side is for blog posts only, and the other side is for video content only. If there is a blog post with a corresponding video, there is a little arrow that tells me that there is corresponding content going on here. And yeah, on the other side of that, I do have sort of goals or little things I need to achieve. So in between, like, this is May, so I have my May goals here, and then my June goals, and then I will put my June here, and then I'll put July here, and then I'll do July, August. I know you probably didn't need to know that, but that's how it's going to be plotted out. And so it's just things like, again, the page is divided in half, but it's little things like particular videos that I want to promote on Twitter, so I know that I need to schedule posts, I need to schedule tweets promoting that video. If there's a blog post that I want to promote in particular, if there is, say I want to schedule like good morning posts for my Facebook page, I will write that down here so that I know that it needs to be done. It's sort of like a month-long to-do list, shall we say. So rather than having it in like daily little segments, it is a month-long to-do list. It's more, it's almost a little less daunting. And if I have time to add more to it, then I will. And from there, I break it down to, what am I going to do today? So I picked up this guide a while ago from Home Bargains, and it's just things to do today. It is a purpose-made to-do list book. You can get these from Home Bargains, you get them from B&M's, you can get them from Amazon, Poundland. You can probably get them from Asda or something. You can probably just get like a little sort of shopping list notepad would do the trick. But because this is purpose-made, my lists of what to do aren't going to get mixed up with other things like they used to in, refill pads, which I know I'm backtracking, I'm all over the place. That is why I was so drawn to bullet journaling in the first place, having a dedicated space to prepare my planning for my content, if that makes sense. I used to write lists in refill pads, and then I'd be doing all kinds of other things in the same notepad, and sometimes I would lose the notepad or pages would fall out. Flicking back and forth, it really wears out the glue, and pages fall out. Like, just me doing that now is sort of peeling the pages off of there. These things aren't designed really for that kind of use. So every day I write down between 5 and 10 things that I think I can get done that day, and I work on it. And if I don't get all 10 things done, it's fine. I can just do it tomorrow. Sometimes I manage to get all 10 things done and I can do extra stuff. Sometimes I don't manage to get any of it done, but it's fine. It's not as sort of anxiety inducing. It's not, I don't have the same sort of sense of failure as I did when I was bullet journaling. A lot of people I see do bullet journaling do it for things like organizing meals, organizing extracurricular activities, more for just organizing their day-to-day life. I don't really see many people using it for, as I say, in a professional creation aspect. If you are someone who uses bullet journaling in that way, feel free to let me know how you make it work for you. It could just be my mind is all over the place all the time. Like, even in this video, it's not been structured very well. I really should have written down notes. It's been a busy day, guys. It's been a busy day. So from here, I'm going to be doing a little series on how I organize things, how I come up with ideas. I have written a little bit about this on my blog. It was a post called how to write better faster, or how to write faster better. I can't remember, but it's one of my most popular posts. I will link in the info box. But there are some great resources on Amazon. I do follow a bunch of writing sort of podcasts and YouTube channels, people who write Kindle fiction at a very fast rate, and how they do it, and sort of taking their little tips and applying it to what I want to achieve. And as I say, there are things like time blocking, that I want to talk about front loading work, and creating content without feeling, what's the word? I can't remember. When you feel not so much like when you look at other people's work and think, oh, they're so much better than me, why do I bother? That kind of mindset, like how to get past that, how to create your stuff and not be conflicted by, the oversaturated field. Because even though, wow, my camera went real, has my camera been blurry this whole time? Even though a field can be oversaturated, that doesn't mean you don't have something to contribute to. You are you. Only you can say what you want to say in the way that you say it. There will be people that will trust your opinions more. There will be people that have a similar taste to you, that won't have the same taste as someone else. You could have 100 different people review the same eyeshadow palette and they will get different variants of viewership because they attract different groups of people. It's just the way consumerism works, consuming of media. I'm going to stop now because I'm a bit tired. I'm going to start rambling. I do that a lot when I ramble. I talk about like a drunk person sometimes. When drunk people, they get a train of thought and then they just waffle on and then they're like, wait, what was I talking about? That's me when I'm tired. But anyways, I will leave this video here. As I say, it's the start of a series. If you have any questions about planning for content creation or planning for any type of creation, like writing wise, creating kind of thing, and how to fit it around a very busy life, feel free to ask in the comments and I will try and answer it the best I can in a future video. I'm really looking forward to this because I've wanted to do a series like this for a long time and I've just never quite managed to sandwich it in, which is ironic. I haven't managed to find the time about teaching you how to find the time. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will leave this video here and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.